Hello and welcome. I'm Lynn of Lynn X Stitches Creates, and welcome to my Flosstube channel about counter cross stitch and the project bags I make. It is Wednesday, October. Where's my calendar? It's October 16th. Wednesday, October 16th. This is episode 138. Welcome if you are new. Just finding me, watching for the first time. I met a few people over this weekend doing Tour to Stitch. So welcome if you're checking me out for the first time. And if you're a returning subscriber, as always, thank you so much for joining me in my little corner of the insane asylum. Chris, get out of that. Both cats are in here with me right now because I have been gone all weekend and I did not close the door so that they would stay out. So we will probably be bugged a bit as they try to investigate everything that I have. This episode is going to be more haul than stitching because I haven't had a lot of time to stitch this weekend. So we'll just jump in and we'll see where it leads us. I think I'm going to start with the last two envelopes from the Never Say Die Sal by Forbidden Fiber Co. based on the Goonies movie. I have not stitched on it, but Day 12's color is Envy, beautiful green. And Day 13's color is Hey You Guys. So it is a multicolor. I believe it's going to go in the border. I'm not 100% sure on that. You will see where it is next week because my goal for this week is to finish Goonies and to finish British Isles, because that just needs to be done and gone away. Goonies, this morning, I put together, with the help of my husband, all the teeny tiny puzzle pieces. I was messaging Leanne, why do you hate me so much? No, I didn't tell her that. But I was like, they're teeny tiny. She said, yeah, they ended up being a lot smaller than they expected. But we did. We put together the puzzle. It's the map from the Goonies movie, and on the back, my husband was laughing. He's like, if this says, drink your Ovaltine, I'm gonna be really mad. Which, of course, it did not. It had a QRC code, and that's all I'm gonna say. If you got the box, I don't want to spoil anything for you. So, my puzzle is complete. Everyone else, if you've got the box, you have until November 1st to complete your puzzle. So, just saying. Okay. We were doing, with my chat friends, we have been doing, we did a 13 days of Halloween chat friends exchange. We exchanged things in New York when we were all together. Day 12 was from Stacy of Thread the New Stitchery, and Day 12 was DMC floss. We already did fancy floss, so these are the colors that she gave me. We've got 22, we've got 938, we have ecru, which you can always use some more ecru. 413, which is a color that I tend to run out of, and 3746, very pretty. So nice fall palette there. So thank you, Stacy. And then our Day 13 was a fall Halloween magazine. I believe this was from Athena. Athena, correct me if I'm wrong, you were purple, right? It is the 2021 fall issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. It is a brand new, beautiful magazine. I have this issue, and you've probably seen it on here before, which is another project I want to get out and finish up before my birthday. Is called Bathing in the Asters by Stephanie Webb of Lindy Stitches. It is so cute. So, being that this is a brand new, beautiful magazine, I want to pass this on since I do have it. So, I will be giving it away. So, if you are interested in this magazine, please comment primitive. We'll go primitive. If you can put it into a sentence, that would be great too. Remember, you have to be 18 so I can ask for your address. If it gets lost in the mail, I'm so sorry. There were some other things. If I think about it, I'll put in the video that John did.
And thanks, Clarice. This is Skip Valentine's with the official rules for today's giveaway portion of the show. First of all, to win, you must be a subscriber to this channel, and you must be at least 18 years of age. Now to enter, you simply comment on today's YouTube video and include the secret code word for the prize that you'd like to enter for. Now, when you do your comment, please do not include words like giveaway, prize, win, winner, Weisenheimer, or Wyoming, because these words attract trolls and bots and other rodents that we don't want on our show. Now, when you use your code word, be sure to include it in a sentence. This has absolutely no bearing on whether or not you will win, but it will make it more creative and fun for all of us. No plants or streets were harmed in the filming of this episode. Now back to you, Margaret.
So that's the end of my 13-day rotation. I'm going to show you some stitching. The one little bit of stitching I did, I think I actually did it before I filmed last week and forgot to put it in. So I started with my chat friends, Heart and Hand, Anytown, Tiny Town. There it is that way. It's got Keepsakes, My Home Away from Home. And I will put in, hopefully, the picture of where it was the last time you saw it. I am doing it on a 16 count banding. And then I didn't quite finish where I was this time, so that's where I am now. I have got Keepsakes just about completely filled in, and then I realized one of the colors for the bushes I didn't have. I don't know how I missed getting that, so when I stopped at my first store this weekend, that's what I got, was the color I needed. So yeah, so that was my stitching for this week. There you go. So before I get into talking about the weekend, I'm going to show you a couple of things. I got my quarterly cottage garden threads from Colleen at Rebel Stitcher Designs. If you haven't gotten yours yet, don't look. But it came with this cute sticker. And then we have nutmeg, wheat, flax, and terracotta. So some pretty fall colors this time. And I also got from Colleen, I need Lima for my Cottage Garden Samplers castle pattern. I have this color. I have it somewhere. I cannot find it. I can't. Now that it's here in my hands, I'm sure I will find it. But currently, I can't find it. So that's got to go in my kit, because I've got it all kitted up, Erica of Akio Whip and I are going to start it sometime soon. We've talked about starting it, and I had asked if we could wait until after I finished the Dragon Sal and the Ever After Sal, and I may have pushed her even to finishing the Goonies, but we're going to start that very, very soon. I also got from Stacy at Thread the Needle Stitchery, I got my monthly Athena's pack, floss pack. This month it was inspired by 12 Grimwald Place, and very dark and grungy kind of colors. I agree with Athena on these. I think if you've watched the Harry Potter movies, you know, even if you've just read the books, it's kind of a very dark place. So we have wrought iron, we have camouflage, and these are a mix of Gentle Arts and Classic Colorworks. Tin bucket, which is always a good one to have on hand, as is wrought iron. Timber, which has, it's brown, but it's got kind of a greeny tone to it as well. And onyx. So, very good colors for that. All right, let's floss. I had also ordered from Forbidden Fiber Co. because, you know, Leanne should just take all my money. She had a special set for teachers. The zipper pull has a mug with art supplies in it, and the front of the bag says teach compassion, teach kindness, teach confidence. Love that. The fabric, I got a 28 count. This is called Blackboard. It's kind of that gray, chalky kind of fabric. Let's see. The needle minder says teacher on it. And if you don't know, if you're new, I am a retired teacher, so yes, this is for me. And look at these colors. I love these colors. So vibrant and pretty. And yes, all the colors that I used to love to use on the blackboard. So very, very pretty. We've got paper white, Arctic, Pacific, loquacious, mustard, lip stain, coral, shadow, and silver bells. So beautiful, beautiful colors. And what are they for, you ask? Well, here is the pattern. It says the influence of a good teacher can never be erased. And then it has where you can put a teacher's name. So, I don't know. Will I put my name? I don't know. I might put something else there. Haven't quite decided yet. So, that is that. Okay. So, that finishes us up with all my regular things. What is this? What's that? Okay, so if you've got a drink, wine, tea, whatever you need, coffee, some stitching. So my sister-in-law, Kathy, who is technically my husband's sister-in-law, our husbands are brothers, but we are, have been since we first met, good friends. she comes to visit us without her husband quite often. We're trying to get him here. I don't know. He's anyway. If you've seen my husband on here, you know it runs in that bloodline. But anyway, so she came in, flew in last Thursday night. Friday we went to the outlets shopping. I got a new blouse, bought clothes for my grandson, bought more stuff for my grandson than I did for me. And then we went to see my husband in Saturday Night Fever at La Comedia, which is in Springboro, Ohio. It's a dinner theater. Food is great. They're under new ownership, so if you've been and haven't been recently, you need to go again. It was an okay show. You know, all the reviews were saying, "Oh, the cast did such a good job with what they had." If you've seen the movie, you know, the show is, but the cast is great, and the set was really awesome. So we went to see that, and then we got up bright and early Saturday morning and hit the road because it was time for Tour de Stitch. Tour de Stitch, if you do quilt shop hops, same thing, but cross stitch. This year it was only like the northern half of Ohio. So Keepsakes, the first year I was in Ohio, 2019, Keepsakes was part of it, and I did it all. So this time I took a little bit more time, and at each stop, Ori TM, Quaker Fantasies, did a pattern, and I will show what it makes at the end. Every store had one piece of the pattern, so if you visited all 8 stores, you got all 8 pieces, plus it was made into a drum, plus the top that says Tour of Stitching. So we got up early. We went to see Candy the 614 Stitcher because I had a few things I had to give her. I haven't seen her. Well, I saw her last month, but I haven't seen her in a month, and I had some things. So we stopped and dropped some things off to her, and then we went to the first store, which is Cross My Heart, which is in Columbus, and I was very bad about taking pictures. Stores that I've been to, I didn't really take pictures. I took a picture of us in the front of it to say, yay! And it was on my Instagram, so if you're on my Instagram, you've seen all the pictures of us in front of the stores, and a lot of time that was the only picture I took. But while I was there, I found 2 patterns. This one is Sisters. It's teeny tiny. Sisters and Best Friends, and they're from Toledo, and this one's just called Cat. So, and it says on there Scaredy Cat, and it came with the beads that you need for it. So I got that one, and Waxing Moon Designs. I'm not sure what year this is from, if it's from this year or not. But Autumn Blessing. May your blessings be as countless as the autumn leaves. And I just thought that was very pretty. You're going to see I was in a very autumny mood, which is kind of unusual for me. So that was our first stop. And we were going to stop a couple of other places, but my sister-in-law was like, hey, let's just go. So next, we went to Big Bad Wolf's House of Stitches, which is in Galion, Ohio. And it's kind of fun because this lady, her husband has had HR Hardware since 2008, and he cleared out a corner for her so she could have a craft store. And she's got lots of fabrics, a good selection of patterns, a few magazines, some yarn, some wool felt stuff, and candles. So I got a couple of pieces of fabric. This was from a local dyer. So here is her business card if you're interested. And if you're in the area, she gave me a whole list. I have to take a picture and send it to Candy. A whole list, 2 sides, of events that she's got planned for her area. She said that there's I think it was American Legion or the Elks Club, one of the two, has a space just like 2 stores over from her store, and they let her use it when she wants to do an event. So go check that out if you're in the area. She gave me a cute little sticker. I love the name of the shop. She gave me a fabulous pen. Let's get the stylus and everything. But I bought, there's a local dyer. This is Jenny's. Oh, it doesn't say on here. Oh, Jenny, you need to do labels. If you see this, do some other labels. But she's a local lady, does dyeing. This is 16 count, and it's called Red Cabbage because that's what she used to dye it. She had some beautiful gold fabric. I couldn't buy it all. But she had some beautiful, I'm not going to get, I'm trying to get, it's a very soft lavender color. Can't get it. Pink? No, it's really getting whited out. But she uses a lot of natural things to do her dyeing, and I'm pretty sure her name was Jenny. But so I'm looking forward to stitching something on these. And then my sister-in-law really liked this one, and it's such a great neutral. This one's a 28 count. Go right through the label. But it's a the color's getting blown out on that one too. I'm sorry. They're so pretty too. But it's more brown than what you're seeing. Sort of a tea dye, probably baked. So that's what I picked up at the Big Bad Wolf House of Stitches. Then we went to lunch across the street from the shop. It's the Whistle Stop Cafe, just a little, greasy spoon diner. Had a burger, it was very good, and headed off to Grandpa's Cheese Barn, where we spent about an hour. It's a 2-floor building, and then there's another building that's Sweetie's Chocolates, and they have all kinds of candy. So we tasted some cheeses, picked up some cheese. They have, traditional flavors. They have specifically Ohio ones. I got some apple pie cheddar that actually has pieces of apple in it. My sister-in-law got onion cheese. And no, she didn't get the onion. She got the garlic. There's a garlic cheese. But I tasted the onion cheese, and the kid's like, oh yeah, it tastes like French onion soup. And it really does. It was nice and creamy and had little bits of onion in it. So if you like French onion soup, it's a great cheese. And they have all kinds of cheese spreads and, soup mixes and everything you can imagine. And then, of course, the candy store has pretty much every kind of fudge you can imagine. I actually got raspberry jelly-filled fudge. I don't think there was more to that name. But it's kind of like they sliced the fudge in half and put raspberry jelly and then put the fudge and topped it with brown sugar. And it was really good. Oh, and I forgot to say, at Big Bad Wolf, she had some magazines that were out that were free to take. And of course, I had to pick up that one with the dragon. I have this issue. I'm not sure what year it is. It's a 2021. I may have it, but I might not too. So I had to pick it up. From Grandpa's Cheese Barn, we continued going east, and we stopped at the J.H. Smucker's store and cafe, and it's basically like the Smucker's gift shop nearby the Smucker's headquarters. It was really more of a gift shop than anything else. It's not, unless you're looking for something extremely unusual in the Smucker's line, especially their syrups, you're not missing anything. You can get it in your store, probably just as cheap. I got 2 things, and I checked my Kroger app while I was there, and they were cheaper at the store, but if there was a sale, it wouldn't have been. So that was a little bit of a bust. We didn't spend that much time there. And then we headed to Berlin, Ohio. We went to the Troyer Farm Market, and we picked up some cold cuts. And, that's what I forgot too. At our first stop at Cross My Heart, there's a Pepperidge Farm store in the same plaza. So we went in there and got some snacks and bread and things. So then when we went to Troyer, we picked up cold cuts, and we had sandwiches before we went to the theater. So that night we went to see Ruth at the Ohio Star Theater. It's a brand new theater. It was beautiful in there. The cast was extremely talented. I was a little angry with the first act because they took a little bit of liberty with the story in the Bible, and that's one of the things, you don't mess with the Bible stories, in my opinion. But the second act, they followed it almost completely true, so I forgave them. But like I said, the voices were amazing, the actors were great, the sets were wonderful. They had animals that they brought in at different times. The sheep that they brought through were huge. I have never seen a sheep that big before. I've been up close to sheep, and I don't know what variety that was. They almost looked like, instead of being sheep, they might have been dogs. I don't know. It was very bizarre. And then we stayed at the Berlin Grand Hotel overnight, which was beautiful. We had a great breakfast. Room was very comfortable. And we were able to, we didn't have to rush out Sunday morning. So we slept in a little bit, which was nice for me because, I did a lot of driving the day before. But then we headed to Canton, and we went to Mass because my sister-in-law's Catholic. So we went to Mass at St. Michael the Archangel Catholic Church, which is just down the street from the National Football Museum that's in Canton. And I kid you not, it's a modern church, and it is an oval. It is in the shape of a football. So, and I have pictures. I may or may not have thrown a picture in already. I didn't get as many pictures as I wanted to. Church ran a little late. They had a couple of speakers at the end of Mass, and I was trying to keep going because later that day we were going to meet my sister-in-law's nephew who goes to school in Cleveland. So I didn't want to take forever, and I was trying to hit 4 stores, and they were only open 12 to 4 on Sunday. So we need to go. So after church, 2 blocks away was our first stop that day, which was Little Creek Needlework. And that's on Whipple Street in Canton. And it is a very cute little shop. It is not really my style. It was more, Rosie's stepping on the sticky of a bag. Got it caught on her paw. It's more primitives and samplers, very primitive. But they've got a nice selection of floss, and they had 2 trunk shows, one of which was wooden pieces, boxes, bowls, horn books, things like that, trays. I did not get one because I couldn't picture what I had finished, what I needed to finish, so I didn't. But I did find this very cute kit. It's Sweet Petite Needle Mind Keep. And it's designed by Pam Reed of Old Colonial Designs. So it comes with everything you need. The floss, the pattern, the fabric, the wooden box to make that little, and I thought that was very sweet. So I picked that up there. And of course the staff is always, all these places, everybody is so nice. It's really a lot of fun getting to meet people. Then from there, we drove up to the Crafty U, which I was just there in September with Candy and Christine. But of course, I did find a couple other things. That is going to be a present, so I'm not, I found a needle minder, but that's not, it's a present, so I'm not going to show it. I did pick up, I don't remember seeing this, though I must have, Thankful for Everything. It's another bag to stitch on, and I got the beads, the buttons to go with it. So I got those. That's a set. And then from Sweet Wing Studio, Blessed Beyond Measure. I thought that was pretty. And then Crafty U had an exclusive for the Tour de Stitch. And it comes, it's a kit that comes in this bag, and it makes, let's see, tiny words and very light colored, so I can't, I think it's by the Purple Thread, but it makes the 2 U's with the pumpkin, and then you sew it onto the bag. So I might try to stitch it on this bag, quite honestly, but I don't know. It probably is too big for that. So that's what I got at the Crafty U. Then we drove about 20 minutes, 25 minutes away is Just Stitching. Crafty U is in Broadview Heights, Ohio, and then Just Stitching is in Strongville, Ohio. And I picked up Needle and Thread by Heart and Hand. This is a pattern that I have liked. My soul is fed with needle and thread. And then this is a new one by Sweet Wing, Far Better Things. There are far better things ahead than any we leave behind. I will laugh if I've already bought this, because I have looked at this many, many times. I don't think I did. But if I did, that'll be good for you guys, because it'll be a giveaway. And then lastly that day, we headed to Claire's stitching post. This is the bag that she gave me. How cool is that? In Vermilion. Vermilion is right up on Lake Erie. It's, I don't know if it's really halfway, but I like to say it's like halfway between Cleveland and Toledo, right on Lake Erie. I picked up the new Stacy Nash Animal Cracker series. What is this one called? I don't know what the mouse is called. I want to say it has a name, but I think he's adorable. And then I found by Maria Teresa Vitali, or MTV Cross Stitch Designs. It's called Spooktacular Soup. How cute is that? The cat with the cauldron and all the ghosts. My friends are making me into a Halloween stitcher, I tell you. But that's when all the cute cat patterns come out. And then from Scissortail Designs, Autumn Gratitude. Isn't that pretty? And then this pattern by Teresa Kogut is an exclusive for Claire's. I think they said for the shop hop. And it says, a heart without hope is like a bird without wings. And you get the robins. So pretty. So I picked up those at Claire's. And then we went and checked. We just stayed at the Holiday Inn Express. Nothing exciting, but it was clean, and that counts. Sadly, the pool was closed. We really had wanted to go in the pool and just kind of stretch and relax, but so then we went and met her nephew, my sister-in-law's nephew, and his fiance for dinner. We had a great dinner. We drove back towards Cleveland and went to North Olmsted for dinner. And my sister-in-law, a lot like my husband, has that sense of humor. And she has been telling everyone that she was coming out here to go flossing with me. And her nephew's like, is that code for something? And she's like, no, flossing. I'm like, Kathy, that's a dance, right? She's like, So her nephew, while we were taking pictures out front, taught her how to floss. So I will put that video here.
Alright, put your arms out. Okay. Now bring them to a side. Right? You're going to move your hips to the opposite side. And then you're going to pull through with your arms splitting. So back to this position, right? Hips out. Other direction. Yeah, there we go. And then lean into it. Yeah, there you go. And then out, and then come across.
Oh, you got your front tail.
Yeah, and then you're in the same position, so hips on this, and then through. No, just through, and then out, and then over, and then through, and then out, and through.
And I'm like, I do that.
You're doing it.
Yeah, it's just moving your hips, and then moving your arms like.
No.
Yeah, there you go.
So she was a good sport. He was a good sport. It was a lot of fun. And we were able to get back to the hotel. My sister-in-law is a huge Mets fan, so she needed to watch the game because, they're in the playoffs. And, sadly, they did not do well that night. Maybe my fault. Who knows? My husband and I, when we were first married, we could not be in the same room and watch the Army-Navy game together because Army always lost if we were in the same room together. That's kind of changed now, but we really haven't watched it together in a while too, so I don't know. Maybe because I know more about football now than I used to. I don't know that much about baseball because that's one that Benjamin never played, so. But anyway, so the next morning we got up, had breakfast at the hotel, and we were going to go walk along Lake Erie because it's beautiful. There's a lighthouse, and everything, and it's really nice, and it got cold. And Lake Erie was choppy, and the wind was everywhere. So we got out of the car long enough to take pictures and go. Because it was just too cold that morning. We just couldn't do it. And a lot of the things that were on Main Street in Vermilion were closed on Mondays. So we did, after we left Clare's, 2 doors down from Clare's is Brummer's Chocolates, and we did stop in there and looked around. They had beautiful molded chocolates that remind me of a chocolate store in the town where I grew up. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, so that was pretty much all the stitching we did, or visiting we did. So then we got in the car. So it's Monday. We headed up to Monroe, Michigan, because I know it's not Ohio, but she's close enough that they included her this year. Ori TM's store, which is Riverview Stitching. And there's her information. Unfortunately, we were thinking about, my sister-in-law kept saying, let's go to Canada, let's go to Canada. I just want to go to Canada. Santa went to Canada. I'm like, we're not going to Canada. That's like 2 extra hours, an hour up, an hour back. And then I saw, well, there's a Miniso store just over the border from Detroit in Windsor, Ontario. There were 2 in Detroit. I'm like, well, maybe we'll go up, because if you remember, Miniso, however you say it, it's a Korean store that has lots of fandoms, Snoopy being one. They've just added a lot of Harry Potter stuff, so, I'm curious to go. But we were within 2 miles of the exit to get off for Riverview Stitching. And there was construction, and it was just backed up. It was pretty close to being standstill traffic. So I kind of looked at my sister-in-law like, I don't think we're going north, any further north. Once we get through with Riverview, I think we're done. So Riverview Stitching, cute little store. It's in an old church, very small church, right on the river. Ori's done a beautiful job making it into a cross-stitch store. And so we were talking, and I'm like, well, what's new for you? Because I always like to try to find something different that I don't see at everybody's store. And, being it was her store. And I picked up the kit for Folly Fox. And this is extra special for me because when we went to Craft Gallery's retreat back in July this year, and Ori was the designer, and she was teaching us how to finish things. This is what she finished at my table. So it's kind of fun. I'm trying to figure out how to show this. It's a complete kit. Comes with the paddle and the fabric and everything you need. So very cute. So, and that will stitch up quick. I did she gave us the seahorse. I think it was a seahorse. It's probably in my pile here, because I missed finishing day with my friends. They did that last weekend. Well, I was out of town, but hey, these things happen. I don't see it here. I'll have to figure that out. But that was the summer one, so the fox is the fall, and she'll be coming out with the winter one very soon. So it may be a series that I'm going to get all of them on. So after we left Ori's, we headed back down to Toledo, there's a retro candy store called Boyd's that we wanted to stop at. And as we're pulling up, it's like 1 o'clock, and there's this big historic building across the street from it. And as we're pulling up, I'm like, oh my gosh, that smells so good. It's Mancy's Steakhouse. And my sister-in-law starts pulling it up. I'm like, gee, maybe we should go there for lunch. And she's like, already pulled it up. They close at 2. I'm like, and we look at each other. Let's just go. So we went, pulled across the street into their parking lot. The waitress didn't know all the history of that particular building. The first one opened in 1921. It changed. The brothers that took it over, because it's all the same family, that took it over in the 60s, renovated the other building, and in 73 it burned down. So then they moved to its current location. There's a couple of other Mancy's, but this is the original steakhouse. Is amazing building. Stained glass, some I'm pretty sure from churches, and artwork, and a spiral stair in the middle of the bar to go upstairs to private rooms, and it was really cool. And the food, oh man, to die for. I would definitely suggest going at lunchtime, because dinner time is, steakhouse prices. But lunchtime was extremely affordable. It was only like $35 for the two of us. And I got soup and a drink. And she had soup with her steak, but her steak was the Monday special, and her soup was the side. So it was, and I had beef stroganoff that was, the meat was just melt in your mouth. I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing. I'm going to have to make the 3-hour trip up there again with my husband, because so good. And then we went to visit Our Lady, Queen of the Most Holy Rosary Cathedral. And that's what the front of it. And I will put in pictures that I took. I'm trying to figure out what a couple of things were in there. This is the layout of the church, and I was looking at one thing and I'm like, what is that? And she's like, I think it's the baptismal font. And it was, amazing. But it was built, they started planning it in, all right, the diocese in Toledo was founded in 1911. They started planning it in the 1915, 1920 time period. They started building the church in 31. It was finished in 1940. And a lot of the wood carvings actually came from Germany. Because I said to my sister-in-law, I said, this rivals a lot of the churches we saw in Europe when we went to Germany and Austria. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful church. It was nice to visit. If you're in the area and you like historical churches, highly recommend. So then we started heading south again to Findlay, Ohio, to Craft Gallery, my second favorite store. Because Keepsakes, my home away from home, is my favorite. And not to say that I didn't love these stores on the tour, but I found a couple of patterns to pick up. So this is Little House Needleworks. This is new this year, and it's In the Woods Bear. How cute is that? And then from Kay's Frames and Designs, and she's in Michigan, it says, be yourself, because an original is worth more than a copy. And look at that. So I may stitch that for my sister-in-law. She has a special thing about sunflowers. We tried to go to the sunflower field. Unfortunately, this year, the one that's outside of Dayton, they didn't grow them this year. And our sunflower field that's local, they didn't either. The last 2 years, they haven't grown them. So I guess it's time to rotate everything. So we stayed overnight in Findlay. The game started because it was game 2 with the Mets and the Dodgers. They started as we were getting to Craft Gallery. So my sister-in-law was listening on her headphones while I was wandering around. We went over to the hotel, checked into the Findlay Inn, got to the room. I was doing a couple of things. And by the time I came out and sat down, it was either the bottom of the 5th or top of the 6th. Mets were winning 6-1. And next thing I know, Dodgers have 2 more runs. I'm like, okay, I guess I need to leave. She said, well, you really don't. I said, I'll go. She said, okay. So she didn't kick me out of the room per se. I kind of exiled myself. So I stayed out of the room until the end of the game, which the Mets won that day. So they don't play again until tomorrow. Or no. That was Monday. Yesterday they had the off day. Tonight they play. So by the time my sister-in-law gets back to New York, they'll be playing and she'll be able to listen, and hopefully the Mets will keep it going. They're talking that, it's possible it might be a Subway series this year, meaning that the New York Mets against the New York Yankees, which would definitely be interesting. I'm not sure when the last time that happened was. But, I don't play that. I don't pay that much attention to baseball. I pay more attention to football, and it's more college football because that's from living in Georgia all those years. But we got back yesterday, took it easy this morning, and then we took her to the airport this afternoon. And whirlwind trip for her, busy trip for both of us. We both had a good time. We're discussing when she's coming back again. I'd like her to come for Christmas. John is in Beauty and the Beast. He's going to be playing Maurice, Belle's dad, at Covedale in Cincinnati. And then he just found out today that he's going to be the wizard in The Wizard of Oz for a group in Kentucky in January. So, and then we were also talking, Styx is going to be performing in Las Vegas right around my birthday in January. So we're talking about maybe doing a quick trip out there to go see Styx. All the things. It's crazy. It's crazy. I can't stay home long enough to stitch. I gotta stop buying stuff. But that's true too. If we went to Vegas, there's the needlework store out there. And it will be my birthday time. Because that's what everyone wants to do. Follow me to Las Vegas to see Styx and then go to Cross Stitch Store. So anyway, so that is it. That is everything. I've got a mess here, so I must be done. It's been 52 minutes, so I'm going to add whatever pictures I haven't thrown in. I'm going to throw in at the end. I will see you next Monday with actual stitching. Have a great week, everyone.